what's up? This is Christiane Cordero from WCCO on the 734. Before you get ready with your Friday, let's get you started with today's weather. Cloudy out there this morning, and it is still pretty dark here in downtown Minneapolis. We're expecting clouds through the afternoon and then maybe some rays of sunshine in the early evening. We're told from Mike Augustinak this morning that this is the final post 6 p.m. sunset, and then it starts to get dark for your evening commute. So how about that? All right, now let's talk about this. Are you ready for another streaming service? You probably already have some combination like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, even CBS All Access, hint, hint. Don't think of it as $6 a month here and there, though. Combined, those four are $34 a month. Tack on another $5 if you want Apple TV. You'll find a new morning show series called The Morning Show, starring Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. There's also going to be a post-apocalyptic thriller starring Jason Momoa. Don't forget, Disney is also next in line. It's launching its own streaming service on November 12th. So what we want to know this morning is, how many do you subscribe to? Do you plan to add more? Do you plan to take some away? These, as we know, all add up, as I mentioned. I want to get a sense of what you have, what you're watching, and what you're willing to pay for. What is your breaking point? Those watching on Facebook, leave a comment right here. We'll read through a few of those in a moment. Tough news out of St. Paul this morning. A man was shot dead overnight. It happened at an apartment complex on the 1300 block of Davern Street around 2:15. A husband and wife were driving when someone shot at them. The man is dead while his wife is now in the hospital. Officials expect her to survive. Police haven't arrested anyone yet, but they said this is not a random shooting. This is the 27th, though, homicide of the year in St. Paul, and the 3rd this week. Across the river in Minneapolis, a business owner who was shot earlier this week has a perhaps surprising reaction.
People call and worry about me. Don't worry about me. I want you to worry about the kid that did this.
Yeah, Kevin Aldwalk owns Weber Mart in Minneapolis. On Wednesday, he says some teens came to the store to buy cigarettes. Kevin turned them down because they didn't have IDs. That's when he says that they became verbally abusive, saying they would rob him. This video shows Kevin walking them out before one of the young men shot him twice.
I wasn't really scared. I was more angry that we keep dealing with this violence issue over nothing. We need to get to the root causes of these social problems, whether it's the lack of parenting or resources.
Kevin says he wants the teen who shot him to be held responsible, but mainly wants them to get help. Police say they haven't named any suspects, but have leads on this case. The first flu death has been confirmed in Minnesota, according to the Department of Health. We know that person was an adult. Last week, 8 people had to go to the hospital because of the flu, and that number is up from 5 people the week before. Hennepin County has stopped collecting batteries at community locations thanks to batteries from vaping devices causing fires. Lithium-ion batteries are causing the concern. The push button on many vape pens caused the batteries to heat up with very little pressure, and that was the case at West Tonka Library, where a recycling bin started to smolder after a vape pen was tossed. The batteries are a problem for waste management as well.
At our Twin Cities recycling facility, we have fires there about once a month, once or twice a month. Don't put them in the recycling and don't put them in the trash.
People at Hennepin County can still recycle batteries at the county's drop-off facilities in Bloomington and in Brooklyn Park. Many local businesses like Best Buy also accept rechargeable batteries that they will dispose of responsibly. Minnesotans love priding themselves on what makes us all different. This statistic, take it or leave it, we're the only state still selling 3.2% beer in supermarkets and gas stations. People in Utah held a mock funeral last night for the alcohol limits that were common in most of the U.S. following prohibition. Utah lawmakers lifted the restrictions effective today because large breweries stopped making many weaker beers. That makes Minnesota the last state to have 3.2 beer in places other than liquor stores. The push for change, though, is in the works. State Senator Karen Housley sent out a statement last night saying she will, quote, aggressively pursue legislation to modernize our state's antiquated liquor laws. The Republican from the Forest Lake area continued, Minnesota has a world-class craft brewing scene and a booming market. We should be encouraging growth in that area, not stifling it. And here's a story that Minnesota can love in its entirety. Farmers are known for coming together when the going gets tough.
Got 4 combines going. We're going to knock it out for them right away. We got the co-op up here with trucks.
That happened near Alexandria, where a farmer lost his father and wasn't able to get in the field to harvest soybeans. Well, Zach Johnson's video of the farmers helping their neighbor received more than 150,000 hits online. It took about 4 hours to finish the harvest.
I think it just shows how farmers work together and how farmers are a tight-knit community and the small towns. And we had 3 different people bring us dinner at the same time, and everybody showed up and got together and just made sure that we got the work done and everybody was well fed. And you know, it was a great thing to do for the community to get together for somebody who would have been right there with us if somebody else was in need, and that's the reason that the community did that.
What a community indeed. Zach says he and his neighbors have received a lot of great feedback, and people are sharing examples of similar stories. Too much candy at home? Why not give some back? Bring unopened candy to the M Health, Fairview, and University of Minnesota physicians clinics. They'll send the candy to our troops overseas, and in exchange, the kids can pick out a book. Good little trade-off there. We have a list of participating locations at WCCO.com. Goodwill is also taking donations to give to charities. McDonald's is going old school to celebrate the Happy Meal's 40th birthday this month. From November 7th through the 11th, you'll find retro toys inside the popular kids meal. The official lineup will include 17 of the most popular toys from the last 4 decades. And as you can see, that includes the Hamburglar, Tamagotchi, Furby, and the original Red Power Ranger. With that Tamagotchi, man, those 90 kids are rejoicing. Back to today's talker. Another new streaming service to choose from today with Apple TV launching. We want to know how many streaming services you have and will you get more? So WCCO's digital guy Cole is here. Cole, what are people saying?
Yeah, we have Paul saying I subscribe to 3. I got a 3-year plan for Disney. We have Nadza saying 3 services, 4 if you count music. Totally pre-ordered Disney. And we have Becca saying, good morning, I have 3 streaming services. Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime.
Those, I think, are the 3 most common. If you add those together, I believe it's $28 a month. But then most people also have some kind of cable or live streaming as well, right?
Definitely.
What do you have, Cole?
I have too many.
You have too many. Too many to
All
count.
Access, Hulu, HBO
Yeah.
Now.
The list goes
all
on.
that stuff.
We'll get to 7:44 in a minute. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate it.
thank you.
All right, that's it for now. This is the 7:34 from WCCO, and most of the Twin Cities are on the go. So why not make us your place for mobile news? We'll be back here on Monday at 7:34, and until then, enjoy your weekend and the internet.